Gentrification, food deserts, online shopping, and foot traffic. What obstacles obstruct the path to our community's sustainability? What improvements are needed? Come walk the road to revival with us as we explore these crucial questions. In each episode, we'll discuss topics relating to the New Kensington Revitalization Project. Join in as we take you to the destinations of understanding this complex path. The Road to Revival podcast is sponsored by Passages in Prose LLC. I'm Julia, and here's your podcast hosts, Devin, Zach, and Zach.
Welcome to Road to Revival. Thank you for joining in our first season. We're your hosts, Devin, Zach, and Zach. We're grateful to connect with you. Before the podcast begins, we'd like to introduce our talented production team. Lily, our executive producer, Julia, our assistant producer, and Surgeon, our tech producer. This week's episode is an introduction of the podcast hosts. Our moderator is Julia, and she'll help to navigate this first episode.
All right, first question. What info about yourself would you like to share with the audience? Starting with Devin.
All right, my name is Devin. I'm a senior at Valley High School. I participate in a number of bands there, the drama club, the bowling team, and I'm planning on pursuing a mathematics degree in college.
I'm Zach. I'm also a senior at Valley High School. I play tennis. I play first doubles. After I graduate from high school, I plan on going to Edinburgh to pursue a computer science degree and get a job in something that interests me.
I'm Zach W. I'm going to cyber school as opposed to these guys. I've been working on getting into cybersecurity, and I do digital art and writing as sort of like a hobby, and I am just kind of happy to be here.
Please share with us about the podcast.
All right, so together, our team worked on a newsletter to raise awareness of the revitalization in our community. We've interviewed small business owners and other key figures in the community to discuss their roles and impact in the city's redevelopment. Our primary goal is to make a difference, and this podcast developed as a result of that newsletter.
Who or what inspired you most during the newsletter interview process? Starting with Zach D.
Okay. What inspired me most was all the businesses that have opened up recently. I think it was really interesting just to see like how many things could really open up and really breathe a lot of life into the community. And I think it inspires me to actually do something that I care about, since a lot of people have found that they're able to do that. What do you think, other Zach?
I liked interviewing Kevin Bodie with the Need Cafe, because I really liked his take on charity, and I think it reflects a lot of the values that we see in our own newsletter when we're writing and when we're interviewing people. And I related to like his kind of like how his faith flowed through his actions, and I really like that. And as a Christian, I kind of like saw myself in that a little bit. What about you, Devin?
I think the most inspiring part of this was hearing Odie's story. You know, it's a nice little shop that I walk past all the time, but I had no clue who he was. And getting to hear about a story of immigrating here and trying to make a better life for his kids, which he ended up doing because they got the education that he wanted for them. I think it was really cool. And to see his dreams of wanting to be a millionaire, which I think is going to happen. I think it's on the books. So that was really inspiring to me.
During the interviews, were there any common challenges you identified?
I think one of the biggest challenges that everybody seems to face is foot traffic. There seems to be a big issue with the lack of people walking around downtown New Ken, which creates a big issue trying to sustain businesses, because how are you going to keep a business open if nobody actually comes and buys things? It's a little difficult. So yeah, what do you think?
Yeah,
Zach?
that definitely throws a wrench in things when most of your sustainability is coming from money that's from inside the community, when not many people bring money from outside. And so infrastructure is definitely another big part. Like New Kensington is obviously heavily influenced by whatever major city it's going to be nearby, and we're near Pittsburgh. And so that's obviously going to change how we have to do things. And like he mentioned, foot traffic, the fact that we have to rely on that, property that isn't being sold, but also not used, another big part. And we're just seeing it all sort of come to the front. recently when people like you, these are really only things you notice when you're actually trying to develop past them, but if you're not doing anything with it, you don't realize what's going on. What about you, Devin?
I think that one of the biggest things that we saw was a lack of essential resources. A lot of the business owners they had the common want of a grocery store down here. And also they wanted some more cohesion between the businesses that are already here, like specifically the clothes boutique. She mentioned that she would love to have another place down here that she could send people to recommend more clothing items, but they go there, then she doesn't have anywhere else because there's a lack of cohesion downtown. So that's
Right.
another thing we identified.
So why develop a podcast when the newsletter is already published?
Well, a newsletter, it's more of an entry media piece, and we share articles that aren't quite as evergreen. Our podcast is relevant as it continues to cover the ongoing process of redevelopment. So basically, it's easier for it to stay relevant. Get things out quicker. Zach.
Well, there are different mediums of information will reach different amounts, different types of people, like you're probably not going to reach a ton of people who are in like the 20 to 30 age bracket if you give them like a newspaper, so you kind of have to adapt to that. So our podcast covers slightly different subject material, but it has the same message overall. And podcasts are usually for younger people. So we just kind of figured that the more people we reach with the message, the more change we might actually be able to bring. And that's sort of just our logic behind it, really. Not everyone's going to open an e-newsletter for a community you don't even live in, but podcasts go farther. So that's sort of part of it. What about you, Devin?
Yeah, piggybacking off of what my good friend Zach W said, we love the youth and we love attracting them. So the younger generation, yeah, it needs to be at the forefront of what we're doing, because when they get out of here and do their thing, we want them to have a place to come back to and be able to experience and continue the sustainability we're talking about.
It'd be cool to have more people live here too, which
Yeah.
would bolster our community more,
I, for one, love attracting.
Yeah.
What are 3 items to take away from the podcast?
Well, there's going to be relevant news on the community. We're going to be sharing a hopeful message about the future of New Kensington. And we're going to have interviews with guests that have something to share in the conversation. Ooh,
Pretty excited for all that, actually.
Yeah.
yes. All right, Zach, time for the promo.
This episode is the first of 6. Season 1 is available for your listening via several venues. Details and links will be posted across social media. We have some things in the store for like cyber stuff, cyber shopping, I guess I should say, about like online shopping and AI and things like that. And just we cover all kinds of subject matter. So just check out whatever episodes you're interested in, I guess. Check out our newsletter too. That'd be cool.
Watch all the episodes.
Please.
All right, thank you for listening in to this episode of Road to Revival with your hosts, Devin, Zach, and Zach. Additional appreciation to our sponsor, Passages and Pros LLC, and our community collaborators. Keep walking with us down this path as we explore the challenges and triumphs of the New Kensington revitalization efforts. Please remember to invite your friends and family to join us. If you would like to learn more or subscribe to our newsletter, please visit www.passagesandpros.com/pages/renaissance-new-ken-press. Please join in for our next episode. Thanks.